Hello, everyone of the net. This is Fallen Gone, and if you don't know, I'm a 10-year werewolf host. I'm gonna be doing a D&D section soon. I'm recruiting some people for it. So you woo. Well, oh, good one. My first campaign was pretty fun, and I would love to do it again. So we are going to try to make the Raven role from Werewolf. So Raven is the name because duh. So the Raven is a very complicated role in Werewolf. The Raven, pretty much, you fly to someone's house and you warn them about the arsonist. And if you do smell gas in the house, you protect that person from that arsonist, or you get rid of that substance and that person is safe. But let's say the arsonist did try to set the place on fire, you save the person. Or if your place is set on fire, but you go visit someone else and they light up, they're also safe. So again, the Raven's a very complex role. You need to know, like, I can't even, like, it's literally like 3 pages long. It's a very complicated role. So you need very, very good, like, intellect with knowing how to play this role and who to pick when. Also, if you find the arsonist, you know who the arsonist is. So, obviously, Raven, that means we need to be at least a bird. I think Kenku would make a lot of sense because if we are gonna do a more like themed, you have to be smart, you have to be smart and quick, you have to be able to use things correctly, you have to know how to be intellectual. Yes, Kenku have that weird curse, but again, you can be smart without being able to talk. So I think nature's very wise because you know a lot about fire, and also probably persuasion because you have to persuade people and all that shit. Blah 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 blah. Now, what makes sense for a raven? You're pretty much going to places, telling people about the information that you know. You know a lot about gases and whatnot. You know how to warn people about if you're gonna get on fire. You're also saving people. So that means you're not gonna be a barbarian. That means you're not gonna be a bard. Again, I don't see this as a charisma character. So a cleric would make sense. A druid, it doesn't have that much of a nature feeling of what I want for that. So no, not a druid, not a fighter, not a monk, not a paladin, not a ranger, not a rogue, not a sorcerer, not a warlock. I think a wizard or an artificer, and with how this role is, how I'm describing it right now, you could go one of 2 ways. You can go artificer, or you can go wizard, which I think wizard might be a little bit smarter because, again, you're, about investigating, you have to be observant, you have to be smart, and wizards are all about being smart. Yes, you don't have that good of hit dice, but who cares? You're now a wizard. I really don't like this role. It's a very complicated role. Let's just start at level 3. No, Arcana makes sense, and then Medicine makes sense. Okay, let's see. Scribes doesn't make sense. Concentration. That is crazy. So we want to be a very smart character. So intelligence up by 2, dexterity. Yeah, I say dexterity makes sense. So like, Let's just do standard array because that's the way that people know how to work. So, intelligence is your best stat. Next, dexterity because you're the person who's helping people out. I also say giving strength makes a lot of sense because strength and then constitution, because again, you're trying to, you're smart. Everyone knows you're smart. I don't find this character as a charismatic character. Like, yeah, the sense of things. So wisdom makes sense because you can smell, and it makes sense to have. Like there's a blank modifier, or you can switch strength of intelligence. Like you can do this and still have the same build because again, you're all about knowledge. Anywho, obviously, how we're describing this character, language just doesn't really matter. Inferno just seems funny because werewolf host. Obviously, you're an investigator because, it is an investigative role. Insight and investigation makes no sense. Your equipment doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is how I would build. This is how I would start building a Raven role. So obviously, you are a protective role. So again, this is not like a wizard that's like very like a more supportive wizard, which I know makes no fucking sense, but it makes a lot of sense. So obviously they're fighting fire. So I think like ice or earth spells make a lot of sense. Obviously detect magic. Like ice knife. I think identify makes a lot of sense. Magic missile because you actually need something good. Here's the problem, you're saving people from fire, so it makes no sense that you have, well, you should have fire magic. Knock, so you can save people. Suggestion makes a lot of sense, because you have to pretty much be like, hey, this place is bad. Snowball, because it makes thematic sense. Finding ice makes thematic sense. Gust of wind, because you are literally dealing with fire. It's not a good spell, but it is a funny spell. Yeah, that's all I would give this dude, which is spellbook, yay. You must always have detect magic, ice knife, identify, suggestion. yeah, you have like a little Kenku who's like, you can suggest people, hey, you may not be a high charisma character, but be like, hey, I suggest you to get the fuck out of this building, and they're like, no, I don't want to listen to you, and then you're like, I'm gonna do the suggestion thing. But this is how I would build the Raven if it was a D&D character, because again, it's a very complicated role that I don't like putting in my game, but my players love it, and this is what it looks like at level 3. But again, the theme is, you want to stay with the theme of, like, you're all about trying to save people, which I would love to make this a lot harder to hit. So, like, magical items, inventory, manage inventory. So, like, armor, none. Armor, proficient. Magical. What is this? Add to equipment? What does this do? Hmm. What else would I give this? Oh, yeah. Magical. What is it? Fire. Yeah, it would be Elven Chain of fire resistance, so you have fire resistance. Because I know some DMs will let you do that. Do the Ring of Protection, because, or you can do a Ring of Fire resistance. And then protection. So you go boom boom. Bang bang. Now you have resistance to fire, which makes a lot of sense. I would actually give them like some type of water. Cup of water breathing, detect endless. This would make, I think this would make a lot of sense too. Because it gives you control water, makes you create, destroy water, dominate monster, ice storm. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense for this creature. Like, yeah, this is how I would build it. Like, again, you're Kenku, you like shiny objects. So there's your shiny objects. Again, you have proficiency with 2 skills of. What? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, like, persuasion, advantage, boom. There's fire in the house. Everyone pretty much. Oh, yeah, this makes a lot of sense for a raven. Yeah, this is actually how I would actually make a raven. And yeah, that's the Raven role in D&D. I know it's not like exciting, it's not like a meta build, but it's something that I would play. Until next time, guys. And if you do like the series, if this does get 5 likes, I will be doing the next werewolf role. And you guys can suggest the next werewolf role. Until next time, guys. Bye!